Hi, Frank.
Hi.
This is Calvin from ACL Sports Nigeria. How coaches always used to say that you tend to know more about your players following a defeat. You guys played really well in the first 25, 30 minutes at Old Trafford, ended up getting a drubbing. Has that helped you in a way to know your players going into this game? Have you learned something new about them that you hadn't known before?
In terms of the defeat, I think you always learn as a manager with your players. I thought more than the first 25 minutes, I thought the first 45, 60 minutes we controlled. So the clear lesson for not just the players, but for me, for everybody, is that if you make defensive errors against good teams, it will cost you. So that's clear, that's the first message. The second message for me and what I learned from the players was that they did so many good things in the game. It's not easy to speak about them after losing 4-0 because the result says a lot. But in terms of how we played in the game, if you take out the mistakes that led to the goals, there was lots of good things. So we have to analyse, and I have to analyse the lots of good things, and we can improve on them because we need to score goals, not just create chances. And we need to be much better in not committing errors that can lead to chances on a counter-attack, because all good teams will make it difficult for you if you do that.
Gentleman in the back.
Good afternoon, Gafar Darwan, newspaper Kursar. Are you optimistic to win that game
Tomorrow.
tomorrow?
I'm optimistic because I believe in the players, and I believe in the fact that we are here in the final because we deserve to be. That's the achievement of the players and the club last year, not myself. But I'm very proud to be here managing the team. But I'm also very understanding of the quality of the opposition in Liverpool, a team that deservedly won the Champions League, have a fantastic manager and group of players. So we know it's going to be a big test. But yes, for sure, I believe in my players, and if we can play to our maximum, then we can win the match.
Hello, Frank. John Cross from the Mirror. How you doing? I just wanted to ask you, really, what this match represents for you, for Chelsea, the importance of it, and I guess, is it something that also offers something of a platform, to win a trophy, to really underpin your regime?
It means a lot to the club. I know that firsthand because I lost two. One in poor circumstances because we lost against Atletico Madrid, having been champions of Europe, winning the Champions League, and we were far off that game, and we gave them the Super Cup. It was different against Munich. We lost, unfortunately, I believe. But I understand the feeling of when you work hard to get into this game, which is a game between two champions of a different degree. It's important as a club like Chelsea that we give everything to try and win it, because it leads on to your second point, that yes, it does mean something. It means something to us as another trophy, as a club. And for me, it would be a really nice start for me personally, but more than that, a feeling for the players with the season coming up that we can compete against Liverpool, win a cup, our name that goes down in our history, and go on from there. Yeah, so we certainly understand the importance of it.
Lady in the corner.
I'm not the lady. Hi Frank, hi Red News. Question about N'Golo Kante and Jorginho. So you played more young players against Manchester United, and N'Golo Kante was absent because of the injury. So can we expect a more experienced squad against Liverpool? And another question is about the tactics. Your team has been aggressive against Manchester United, the pressing at the other stuff. And can we expect that kind of football, or you'll be more closed? Thank you.
Yeah, as you said, the selection of N'Golo Kante on the bench was purely because he's had an injury pre-season, has missed a big part of pre-season, and his off-season was injured throughout. So he wasn't ready for the game. But I'm very aware of how important he is for us as a player. He also picked up another small injury in the game, which is again a danger if you try to bring players in. So we are assessing that with regards to tomorrow. With regards to the whole squad and picking inexperienced or experienced teams, I completely pick the best team that I see to win the game, regardless of age. I think it's very important to have a competitive team. Yes, if young players are showing what they can do in training and deserve their chance. For example, Mason Mount deserves his chance completely on absolute merit as opposed to age. I will have no fears to play young players because it's important for a club like Chelsea that we do that. But they need to deserve their chance. And in terms of how we set up as a team, I really liked some of our aggressive off-the-ball work against Manchester United. We won the ball back a lot, and it was more that we didn't finish off the opportunities that we got from that lost us the game. But we have to be slightly adaptable. We have to respect the strengths of the opponent. And Liverpool is a different challenge to Manchester United. Doesn't mean that we are prepared to concede ground or defend our own box, but there may be subtle changes in how we approach, but the main thing that has to stay is the intensity of our work rate to win the ball back.
Gentleman in the first row.
Hi Frank, Sammy from the Daily Mail. The perception of the Chelsea manager's job is that it's a bit of a roller coaster at times. Has this week kind of summed it up a little bit? You've had the transfer window last week and David Luiz leaving. You had the defeat at Old Trafford, but now you're playing in a cup final. Are you learning about the Chelsea job and it being a roller coaster?
I don't think you can lay that one down to Chelsea. This week is a good example of a roller coaster, but I had a year at Derby last year in management where I had similar roller coasters particular parts of the season, and I think that comes with managerial jobs. It becomes particularly with a job like a Chelsea, like a Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City, all the bigger teams. But I understand what you're saying. Yes, I'm very prepared for that. It has been a week where a lot's happened, but I was ready for that, and I certainly don't fear that. There are challenges every day in this job. One from a small decision at the training ground to a bigger decision in a player or after a result, etc. So yeah, I'm prepared for that, and we'll see what the roller coaster brings going forward.
Gentleman in the back.
I'm Swara Karim from Kursat newspaper. Hi, Lampard. As you know, Hazard was a great player, we can say he was one of the Chelsea leader in the field. Now, who's going to fill his position?
Well, I agree completely. I was a huge fan of Eden Hazard as a Chelsea fan. I played with him. For me, clearly one of the best players in world football. And last season, but not just last season, over his time at Chelsea, the most productive player in the team, generally, in terms of assists and goals, and a leader. So you cannot replace him individually. I think it's pretty much impossible because of the high level that he is at now in his career. But on the good news and the positive news for us, and we must stay calm and be patient with this, but we have a group of players, some younger players, some experienced players, that now have the opportunity to show that collectively and individually they can step up. Because, yeah, you're missing a huge amount of assists and goals, that's clear. So the answer is that as a team, we have to find a way to carry on, because a football club like Chelsea will always carry on. Eden Hazard, John Terry, Didier Drogba, etc. players move on, and then it's down to the next players, the next manager. That's our big challenge now, to say good luck to Eden Hazard and to carry on as Chelsea.
We'll take 3 more questions. Gentleman here, and lady there.
Hi Frank, Simon Peach from the Press Association. Just wanted to ask about the winning DNA. Obviously, in the Abramovich era, Chelsea have always won by hook or by crook. We saw that in Azerbaijan. Is it important to retain that to win tomorrow? Is that vital to instill it in those younger players that perhaps haven't had that winning feeling?
Yeah, I understand the question in terms of Chelsea have won a lot with lots of change and different players and different, slightly small, different eras. It's hard to to pinpoint what winning mentality is or DNA is. For me, it comes from a work ethic on the training ground day in, day out. It comes from a spirit and a bond that the players work at daily in training to bring to matches like tomorrow. So I don't want to give the squad or the young players the ultimatum that if tomorrow they're not successful, that's the winning mentality gone. It's not. I lost finals, I lost semi-finals, I lost big games with a really good squad. And you have to carry on and be tough in times that are tough. So I think it's more now, as I see it, starting this job, it's not a big question about tomorrow. We are really wanting to win tomorrow, of course. But the bigger picture is how we work together to become now a team. We just mentioned Eden Hazard leaving. We mentioned circumstances around the team, with transfer ban, etc. It's very clear this year what we have, the squad that we have, the situation we're in, and we need to start, as you start every season, with a fresh start. Yes, a winning mentality, but that comes from working hard day in, day out to get that. Tomorrow will be a great start with that.
Hi Frank, Paul Gilmore from Sky Sports. I just wondered if you could give us an update on any team news, anyone returning for the game, and also in Mason Mount. Do you see any similarities to Frank Lampard, the player? Is that something you see in him going forward?
In terms of team news, I mentioned N'Golo Kante. He has a small injury which we're concerned with, and I'll have to make a decision on that with him this evening because he picked up another knock and he's had a very broken pre-season. Willian and Antonio Rudiger are here with us. They also are in different stages. Willian is not far from fit. His injury is healed, but he's missed a pre-season. So for one, to put him in a high-intensity match would be tough, and not just that, as importantly, a risk for him. So we have to be careful with him. So he'll be working through this week on fitness because we need William back. He's an important part for us. But tomorrow he'll be on the bench, but we'll see if he will come on. And similarly with Rudiger, they're in positions where they're feeling good, but we have one more step to go to where we want to be. But it's great news that they're there or thereabouts, and it's great that they're here with us because they were part of the squad that got to this final. So I thought it was very important to bring everyone who was part of that. With Mason, I don't like to compare, particularly against myself. It's not easy because there are different players. Everybody's a different player, and but what I will do is just talk about Mason himself and say that he has a fantastic attitude. He has incredible energy and work ethic for the team with and without the ball, which is something that is pivotal to how I want my teams to play in terms of how we win the ball back and how we keep possession. And he has a fantastic talent to be part of possession, to make assists and to score goals. And I think the scoring goals thing is something that he will really step up levels with as his game improves. So, yeah, I am a huge fan of his. He's part of the first team squad, and I still think there's so much more to come from him.
Frank, Jane Dougal, BBC. It's an all-female refereeing team tomorrow. How positive do you feel that is when it comes to progression of women in officiating?
It's great news. It's great news. I'm very pleased to be a part of this moment in history, which is very much due. I think the game has come on a long way in many ways in terms of the Women's World Cup, which we all watched this summer. In terms of how much respect the game's getting, how many people are watching it, the interest in the game. I think we were very slow everywhere on this, and now we are trying to make strides, and there's still a long way to go. But in terms of tomorrow, I think it's a huge moment. It should be very well addressed, and we're all very pleased. As I say, I'm pleased, we are pleased. It's a historical moment that is one more step in the right direction, I would say.
Mr. Lampard, thank you very much.
Thank
We'll
you.
continue in a
Thank
few moments with the players.